how are you all? It's me again, Fabi from Fabi English, okay, and welcome to another IELTS lunch break with Fabi, okay. In this lunch break, I'll help you with everything you need to know for the IELTS test. More specifically, okay, I'll be helping you and telling you how to get a 7 in writing, okay. So this is the thing we focus on in these lives, okay. So as you know, I help people get the 7 on the IELTS test, but I also help people with the other parts of the tests. These lives we're focusing on writing, but if you have any other questions about the other parts, you can ask me, no problem at all. Okay, and also if you need some extra help, okay, with the IELTS test, you can head to my website. There are lots of things there for you if you want to do the IELTS test soon. And the first thing I have available there is my free IELTS writing course, okay? So it's it's a mini course, okay? It's free, and it will help you with the IELTS writing task too, okay? So especially if you want to know more about the structure of the writing, okay? That's one thing we have available there on my website. Another thing is, okay, if you want help with the IELTS test, you can head to my website and have a look at my membership. Yeah, so it's IELTS, IELTS with Fabi membership. Okay, and in this membership, you have weekly live classes. All right, and each week we focus on one part of the test. Okay, and the lesson is divided into 2 parts. The first part is always test review, and the second part is always strategies. Okay, so head to my website to have a look. And another thing I have available is if you need more help, okay, one-on-one help, really specific, if you have really specific questions, you can also go to my website and you can book a private class with me. Okay, so my website is www.fabienglish.com. Okay, so if you head there, you see at the top, book a class, okay? And you can book a class with me. All right, okie dokie. So, as we know, here we always talk about writing, okay? So today, okay, the title is, okay, Experience the Magic of Practice to Get a 7 in Writing. Okay, so I think that a lot of people, they overlook practicing for the IELTS exam. Okay, so a lot of people, they watch videos on YouTube. That's something that people like to do, okay? And then they may ask someone for help, but they don't really practice for the test, okay? And today, I'll be sharing with you the importance of it. Okay, dokies? Okay, so first of all, okay, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the people I work with, okay? So it's very common for me to get people, okay, and they get in touch with me and they tell me, Fabi, I need the 7, okay? And then I ask them, okay, that's really cool. And have you done the IELTS test before? And they said, yes, I've done it once, I've done it twice, I've done it 3 times, but I can't get my score. And then my next question is always, are you practicing? And the answer is usually, no, I'm not practicing. Okay, so that is a bit of a problem. Okay, guys, so if you don't practice, you're not likely to get your score. Okay, so that's one thing. But then I also have those people that they come to me and they tell me, I need to do the test, but I've never done it before. Okay, so when it comes to these people, if they decide to work with me, okay, we kind of make a plan. And then, of course, the first thing they do is to do the full test. And then after that, we draw a plan and we can think about, oh, how often are you going to practice? How many hours? I always ask this question. How many hours a week do you have to study for the test? Okay, so all of this, I take all of this into account and then we can draw a plan together. Okay, and one thing I have to tell you, people who study with me for the IELTS test do the test only once. Okay, I hate this thing of doing the test 10 times. Okay, I don't think it's necessary. If you're doing the right thing, Okay, guys, I don't think it's necessary to do the test more than once. And I'll tell you a story today about that, okay? So yeah, so like I said before, so if someone gets in touch with me and they want to do the test, the IELTS test, okay? So we talk about it and then I get them to practice as much as they can, okay? So by practicing, you're preparing yourself, okay? And what is the point of practicing and preparing yourself, okay? So I feel that most people, of course, some people can get the score they need because their level of English is not high enough, or maybe they don't know much about the test, meaning they haven't practiced, okay? But another reason is that people feel really stressed and nervous during the test, okay? Most people who are gonna do the IELTS test, they have a reason to be doing it. And sometimes this reason comes with a lot of pressure, okay? And consequently, if we are under pressure, we tend to feel nervous, okay? So that's one thing that happens, okay, guys? And from my experience, I have been finding that when we practice, okay, the practice itself, the practice for the test is a way for us to feel more relaxed on the day of the test. Okay, and you think about that, and then you can tell me, you think about it, but how come, Fabio? Why do you think that, right? Why do I think that? Because I feel that one thing that will contribute, okay, to your stress on the day of the test are the surprises. Okay, so what do I mean by surprise? A surprise is you are there doing the test and you are asked to do something that you've never done before on the day of the test. So, and then you already get a little bit stressed because you go, oh my God, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this question before, okay? Or I've never seen this before. So what happens is, if you have something that you've never seen before, okay, you probably not gonna get a good score because you're not prepared for that. And one thing that I found also is that it takes a while for you to understand what you have to do, so you waste time. And if you feel like you're wasting time, you're probably even more stressed. Okay, guys? So I do feel that when you practice for the test, okay, we are actually also preparing ourselves to be more relaxed on the day of the test. Okay, so I have been thinking about this for a while. You know, I've shared this with some of my students, you know, and every time someone asks me about this, okay, I'll share this with them. But I have a very cool story to tell you today. All right, so I've been helping a student, okay, and what happened was this student, she's been doing really well and she's been practicing hips, you know, she was having private class with me, she was a member of the IELTS with Fabio membership, so she was working really hard, but her concern was always that she wouldn't get a good score because she gets stressed during tests. Okay, and she told me, she said, look, Fabio, I think I'll have to do the test more than once because I feel really, really stressed during the test. And then I told her, maybe you won't. And said, no, from experience, okay, if I practice in my house, I get a score and then I go do the test and I get a lower score. And she's never done the IELTS before, right? And then she told me, she said, look, I've already saved money to do the test 3 times. And I said, wow, do you really think you need that? And she said, I think I will because I get really stressed. She needed a 6 overall, so she could apply for, I think it's a graduate visa she was applying for. So she needed a 6, right? And she was practicing and she was getting 6.57, 6.57. And we're all very excited thinking that she would need to do the test only once. And then she said, no, but you know, I'm probably gonna get a 5. And I was like, oh my God, don't say that, you know? And she was really insecure, but she was practicing. Okay, she practiced, I think she was doing maybe a full test every week. And then she did the test last week. And guess what? She got a 6 overall. She managed to get the score she needed to apply for her visa. But then she said, I wasn't sure I was gonna get it because she did the test on the computer. And she told me, she said, my fingers, they were shaking. I couldn't really type the writing. And my legs, she said, my legs wouldn't stop moving. I was really, really stressed. However, everything that happened from beginning to end, from the listening part all the way to the speaking part, there were no surprises. She said, look, Fabi, the whole test was exactly like we have been practicing. And because she felt, even though she was really nervous because it was a test, she also felt comfortable because there was nothing new for her. Okay, so she managed to do everything she needed to do. No surprise, like I said before, guys. So no surprises. She said, look, I looked at the question, I knew what I had to do. I looked at the question, I knew what I had to do. You know, even in the writing, she said she made a big mistake. She forgot to plan her writing, even though she had been practicing. Okay, she forgot to plan. And then, and then she had to do the test only once and she couldn't believe it. She said, oh my God. And then she told me, our practice helped a lot. Okay, because she said, I thought I was gonna get a really low score. And then there you go. And then she has heaps of money to spend on whatever she wants now, okay? And that's why I say, guys, it's very important to practice, okay? So just don't go and do the test just for the sake of it, okay? I think you should do it when you're 100% ready, okay? And I help my students with that. I am quite honest when I think they're ready or they're not ready, okay? And so that's what I think everyone should be doing, okay? You know that this live, we focus on writing, okay? And I'm talking about the whole test, and I'm talking about a 6 if our focus is a 7, okay? So what I want to do now is for us to think about it. How can we use this situation as a great example for a 7? Okay, guys, so just think about it, okay? How can we use the practice, okay, so we will get less nervous on the day of the test and you'll be able to perform well and get our 7, okay? So, one thing I'd like to talk to you about first, okay, is have you watched my video on the writing steps? Okay, if you have not, go to YouTube. Okay, maybe I'll put the link down here too, so you can have a look. Okay, guys. So have a look at that one, because the reason I created the writing steps was exactly for people who get stressed and they don't know where to start. Okay, so I've always felt that with the writing, people don't know where to start and they get really nervous and they don't get the score they need because they are just nervous. Okay, so head there. Okay, and the reason I created all those steps is to help you. Okay, and to get you to be more relaxed, and when you sit there to do the test, you look at the task and you know what to do. Okay, so that's the first thing. If I were you, I'd watch that. And then the next thing that should be in your practice to help you relax more on the day of the test so you can get your 7 is knowing the different tasks that we have in the writing part. Okay, because I think I've mentioned this story before. One of my students, he had done the IELTS a few times, and then he did it, and then he said, oh my God, there was a different type of question, and that freaked him out a little bit, you know, because he'd never seen that before. Okay, so my advice is practice all the types of tasks. Okay, so I'm going to share with you now some of the most common ones. Okay, and then you can make sure, maybe you can make a checklist and tick, tick, tick the ones you've practiced before. Okay, so one of the most popular ones is the advantages and disadvantages of a topic. Okay, and this goes for academic in general. Okay, guys, task 2. We're focusing on task 2. Okay, so advantages and disadvantages of a topic. Okay, the other one that is quite common is discuss both views and give your opinion. Okay, another one is the agree and disagree. Okay, and sometimes they also ask you to give your opinion. Okay, the next one is problems and solutions. Okay, sometimes they don't really say problems. Oh, what is the problem? Think about a problem, give a solution. Sometimes they ask you in a different way, but that's the base of it, problems and solutions. And sometimes they have a statement and they just say, what's your opinion? Okay, so you just write your opinion, okay? So there are 4 types, okay? So let's think about them again. Advantages and disadvantages, okay? Discuss both views, give your opinion. Agree, disagree, and sometimes give your opinion. Problems and solutions, and what's your opinion, okay? So these are the most common ones, okay? There are other ones, but they're not very common, okay? But yeah, so why am I telling you this now? Because if you're going to do the IELTS exam soon, and if you want a 7, you need to know all of these 5 types of writing tasks. Because if you don't know, okay, you're gonna go there, you're gonna sit down to do the test. And if you see one that is different, that you've never seen before, what is it? It's the element of surprise. And honestly, you don't want any surprises on the day of the test. Okay, so I always joke with my students, you know, so every time they don't do very well on a topic or they say, oh, this topic is so difficult, I always say, it's good that you're doing it with me, not on the test. And they're like, oh my God, you're so right. And that's the power of practice. Okay, guys. So if we practice, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're saying, we can see what is easy for us, what is hard for us. And I always tell my students, okay, so let's say I have a student that always struggle with discuss both views, okay? And then every time I send them a test and it discuss both views, I think that they panic, but I always tell them, don't panic. You just know that maybe you will have to spend more time on it just because it's a little bit hard for you. Okay, but at the same time, you have the ones that maybe you find easier. So what do? When you see them, you get excited, okay, and quite relaxed. Okay, guys, so to me, that's the power of practice, okay, guys, because when we practice, we avoid surprises on the day of the test. And unfortunately, surprises on the day of the test, okay, will probably give us a lower score. Okay, so if you are aiming at 7 plus, okay, you should be practicing a lot, okay, just so you get there and you know exactly what you have to do. Okay. Oh my God, I always forget to say, do you guys have any questions? Because if you have any questions, you can pop the questions in here, okay? I don't have any questions today from people who got in touch with me, because some people, they send me questions in advance so I can talk about it here, okay? But I don't have any questions today. But do you guys have any questions? I can go over my notes. No questions today? Yeah, so today we're talking about the power of practice, okay? The magic of practice, okay? Especially to help you be more relaxed on the day of the test, okay? So when it comes to the writing part, if you want a 7, I do advise you watch the video, The Writing Steps, okay? Because with these writing steps, it's exactly what the writing steps do. These steps, when you look at these steps, you go through them, okay, and you learn them, and then when you see a piece of writing, actually no, when you see a task, you know exactly what you have to do, okay, and knowing what you have to do will get you to your 7, okay? Of course, get you to the score you need, okay? And if you need a 7, okay, so like my student, all right, so she got a 6 because she practiced a lot, all right? And there were no surprises during the test, okay? So no questions today, guys? No? So if you don't have any questions, I'm gonna wrap up. Okay, so again, first of all, okay, so you know, if you have been my student or if you'll be my student in the future, you know, I love to give homework, okay? So I'm just gonna tell you a few things you can do. First of all, head to my YouTube and watch the video on the writing steps, okay? Number 1. Number 2, head to my website, fabioenglish.com, okay? And enroll in the free IELTS Writing Mini Course, okay? Because there you will know all the types, the 5 most popular types of writing tasks, okay? And again, guys, remember, we don't want the element of surprise on the day of the test. Okay, so if you go to my website and do that mini course, you can do it in 30, 40 minutes, okay? It's pretty quick because it's just an overview of task 2. Okay, if you do that, I don't think you're gonna have any issues. I think you're gonna be preparing yourself, and that's kind of practice already, right? Okay, so that's something you can do. If you need help with all the parts of the IELTS test, you can consider joining my membership, okay? So IELTS with Fabi membership. The link will be down here, or you can just go to my website and go membership, okay? And there are actually 2 types of membership. The first one is just focusing on the IELTS test, and the other one is the IELTS test plus grammar and vocabulary for the IELTS test. Okay, and in this membership we have weekly classes, okay, and each week we have a different topic. Last week was writing, this week I think we'll be listening, okay, and the lesson has 2 parts. The first part is always test review, okay, so it's based on the test that I gave you for homework, okay, and the second part of the lesson is always strategies, okay, so we do both. So we check things you've done, and I'll give you more homework, of course, okay, and things you can do, okay, and if you need help, okay, private help, okay, go to my website and you can book a private class with me. All right, just go to my website, fabioenglish.com, and then you can click on book a class, and you can book a class with me. Okie dokie. All right, so do you have any questions, guys? Any final questions today? No? All right, so I'll be going now. So today is Monday, okay, but I'll be back on Wednesday, same time, 12 p.m. with another live to help you get the score you need on the IELTS test, more specifically 7 in writing. Okay, see you next time. Bye.